welcome back. I'm going to be replacing a clutch on this. I thought I'd do a little video. Full focus estate. 1.6 tdci, so they're HDI engines. And Peugeots and whatever else. Yeah, so we're going to maybe crack on. So what I'm going to do is get on some axle stands, get these wheels off. And I'll bring you back in. So it's a bit wet underneath here. Safe cylinder's gone basically, so first things first, I always jack them up, undo the bung, get the gearbox oil out. So I'm going to do that now. So get your 8mm key, crack it off, and screw it out. Obviously drain it into something. So yeah, drain all that out. Next job will be getting these ball joints out. So I'll cut you back in. Oh yeah, get an 18, undo it. Take the socket on the bolt, give it a few whacks with the hammer, get it going through. They are normally quite tight. As you can see. So yeah, keep whacking it until it comes, be persistent. So what I normally do is get a chisel in between there, I've got a bit of penetration fluid in it, and just hit down on the arm and get a lever bar on it, but I have forgotten to bring my lever bar, so I'm going to have to improvise. So you get the gist of it. It is coming slowly, so I'll bring you back when it's off. Right, normally you get a 32 or 34 on the end of there. Undo that big driveshaft nut and slot that out. But from experience, I know they get stuck in there solid. So we're going to try and just pop the driveshaft out. So what I normally do is I'll get underneath and get positioned and bring you back. Is I get a big screwdriver in between the driveshaft and the gearbox. Be careful not to crack the casing now. It's a bit dark, I don't know how much you can see. And bring it over like that. So I'll do that and bring it back. So I've got that ball joint out, got the other side out, got the drive shaft out, and this one's got a bearing there because it goes to a shaft there. So it's a 13 and a 13 just there. So So I'll whip them out, and then this comes off, and you should be able to knock the drive shaft out that way. Okay. So as you can see, that's out, drive shaft's out. The hole. The next thing we're going to be doing is taking these two out and this bracket off here for the dog mount. So it's 1, 2, 3 13s, and I believe that's a 15 or a 14, and same again underneath there. So I'll whip them out and bring you back. That's all out. Them bolts that were in there were actually a 15. So whip them out. Now it's just a case of getting all the bell housing bolts out, which I'll do when I'm down here. So there's 2 up there by the starter motor, 1 underneath the starter motor. They sort of just go round in a ring as you go around. Now there is 1 up by the DPF, so you have to remove the DPF, or not remove it fully, but loosen it off to get it out. It's a bit of a nightmare, but it is what it is. So I'm going to crack on, remove these 13s they are, and a 10 I think on the starter by the looks of things. But remember, disconnect the battery before you start putting sockets and stuff near the starter motor, because it'll arc out and electrocute you. So yeah, be careful. I'll whip them out now and I'll be back. Alright, so now we're going to whip this airbox out. It's a bit dark, I'm afraid. That's pretty simple. Just a little tab here, pull that off. Jubilee clip there. Pull that out. There's a plug there. Pull that up. Pull the red tab up, and then get a screwdriver behind it, pull it off. Let me just get some tools and I'll be back. So whip that off. Whip that off. I'll just get and then there's a pipe just here. You also got to pull that off. You should be able to. Then down there, I believe. Ah, yeah, it's just pipes for the DPF. Clip on. There you go. That's 1 airbox out. Still can't see much while you're down there, to be honest. Today, just get that battery tray out, get the battery out, and then we should be able to see a lot more, hopefully. So to get these out, pull them up like that. Unhook them. That sort of just folds back. 10mm there, 10mm there. You can pull the battery forward. Take the earth off. So I'll do that. 10mm there, 10mm there. Pull the battery forward. You can take the earth off the back there. And then I'll be back. So yeah, whipped out the battery, there's some 10 mils here that I've whipped out. Now we've just got to take the pressure sensor off for the DPF, which is there. And then hopefully that should be the battery tray. So yeah, I'll go and whip that off. That is a T20, I would have said. So yeah, I'll whip that off and I'll bring you back. So we're going to whip these 4 bolts out here, nuts, sorry. I'm going to say they're a 15. Yeah, 15. So I'll bring you back once I've whipped them out. There we go, got it off. So we'll crack on with the next thing. Alright, you're going to get these gear linkage cables off now. So, one little ball socket, so we get a screwdriver underneath. Pry them off. Easy as that. And then there's a few 10 mils. One there. One there. And I think there's one back here at the round the back, so I'll bring you back for that one. Right, so there's a 13 mil there and a 10 mil there. That's to get the starter off. And then there's a couple of bell housing bolts here to get off. They're 13s. And then I'll bring you back. There's a few bits of wiring we need to take out, and then we've got to take off the dreaded DPF. So I'll whip these bolts out now and bring you back. There we go. So there's a couple of electrical plugs down here. Unplug them. There's a pipe here you just got to whip off. Some wiring just there, which I'll do off camera because I can't get it off. Bit of wiring down here, and then just go round it, make sure you haven't missed anything. Bring you back when we're going to take that DPF off. Alright guys, so we think we may be able to take this stud out there to get this bell housing bolt out here so it comes out, so we might be lucky with this. I know with the Peugeots it's got a bracket and you have to take the DPF out, so we're going to give that a go. So we'll whip that stud out and we'll bring you back. Fingers crossed that's going to work. It's hard to see underneath here. Yeah, so we're going to have to take the DPF off. There's a bracket there, don't know if you can see, right next to the aircon pump. So the LED light's not making it the best. So yeah, we'll whip the stud out of that, which is a 5 mil on a 13 mil bolt. Whip this clamp off. I've got some special pliers for that, I'll show you in a minute. And then there's one the other side, which we took off, and a few 10 mils for the heat shield. We've took all them off already off camera. Yeah, so we're going to do that now, and we'll bring you back. So, okay, these are the special pliers I was talking about. Nielsen, I think, eBay, about a tenner, worth every penny. So you want them in there. Again, trying to do them one-handed. Like that. And it spreads them. Like that. Right, let's move that out of the way, so hopefully I can get to that 30 mil bolt now. That one that I showed you before, so we'll do that now. Right, so I've got all that off. I'm gonna take the pipe off of the slave cylinder now. So I haven't got any pipe grips, so I'm gonna use mold grips. Yeah, so just clamp off there. And then I'll bring you back when we clip it out the slave. Right, so there's a little clip. I don't know how well you can see that. Once I've got it off the car, I'll show you it better. yeah, just get a screwdriver, twist it, drop the screwdriver. Cheers. And watch you don't lose a clip really, because it probably will ping off into the abyss. No, he's alright, I think I've done it. Should be able to pull that pipe out. Might be a bit tight, it has got a seal on there. There we go. Job done. So now it's just that gearbox mount we've got to whip off. And that's it. You'll be coming out. Right, so yeah, just whipping it off. It sort of fell off camera, to be honest, guys. There we go. Right, so we're going to whip this clutch out. As you can see, that dual mass is absolutely pooped. I'll whip this out. One. There you go, that was definitely due a change. And it says it's possibly a Ford clutch, so I mean the car's on 155,000, so it's probably the original cutscene. Right, I'm going to whip this flywheel off now as well, because it needs a new one. There we go. It's come with some new bolts, so we don't need them. Just be careful, because these are really heavy. There you go. And that's that out. Alright. Right, gonna whip this slave cylinder out. So it's the bolt there. Bolt there. Couple of 8mm. There we go. That's that off. You see, that's where the clip was on that earlier video. That's where the pipe goes into. So you pull the clip out, pull the pipe out. But it's kind of hard to film when it's in the car and it's buried. So yeah, we're going to get the new bits, clean everything up, and bring you back. Them wheels in the background there for a future video, so we'll keep you guessing on that. Right guys, got a new slate. Our UK slave. So, whack that back on. Just like that. everything a good clean up as well. Or is that it? There we go, that's on there. What I'd do next is put a bit of grease on this shaft here, just helps it all line up and stuff. So yeah, we'll put some grease on that. That's that done. Alright, so I've got a nice new flywheel. Put that on there. Alright, and then I add some new bolts. Lined up. So we'll whack them in there. Obviously, you know how it goes. Try and tighten them up in stages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that, and then torque them all down. So we'll bring you in when it's done. Right. So yeah, obviously putting a new clutch in now. I haven't got an alignment tool, so I'm just going to wing it by eye. That's how I've always done them, to be honest, and never had an issue. Look at that. Get a couple of 10mm started. And then when you're happy it's all aligned, go ahead, tighten these up. Again, do it in opposite pattern. And then we'll be ready to get the gearbox back in. Cheers. Just lifting the gearbox in now. I've got the incredible help on here. There we go. Right, just going to get it in, then I'll be getting on the dowels, and then I'll bring it back in, guys. Alright, right, guys, gearbox is all back in. So we're just going to start putting all the bell housing bolts in and stuff, and just buttoning everything up, really. This back on. Just put it in lightly. Put that there. And then this stabiliser mount can go. Trying to line it up. There we go, look. So I'll just do them up. all 13s, told you before. Yeah, so I'll do all them up and then I'll bring you back because we'll all be buttoned up underneath then because all the drive shafts are back in and everything else. I'm going to fill her up with some oil now. So, fill plug just there, and it is a 8mm Allen key. I'm going to put some lovely Castrol oil in there. Takes about 1.6 litres, roughly. So yeah, just make sure you've done your bottom bolt up, obviously. That's it. Just don't run out there and you'll lose it all. So yeah, I'll pull up that in now. Bring you back. Well, how well you're going to see this, but just gonna. That's putting the sleeve cylinder pipe back in. Then we're gonna attach the pressure bleeder and bleed it all up, hopefully. See the white thing says to bleed it. Yeah, I can either get someone pumping the clutch pedal in the car, releasing the valve, or I've got a pressure bleeder, so I'm going to be using that. So it's a bit hard to film it, so I'm going to just go ahead and do it, and hopefully we'll have a pedal. Right, so I'm going to put this pressure bleeder on, so you can attach it there onto the master cylinder. It's a bit tight on these. Make sure it's nice and tight. Get the battery. Attach it to the battery. Then fill her up with fluid. Lid on, turn it on, you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it on camera, it's a bit windy out here. And flick on to pressure. And that's just pushing it through, wait until that stops clicking. And then we can go ahead and release this valve. Hopefully we get fluid through soon. What I might have to do is give it a bit of a helping hand in the car, or take the clamp off the seat. Nothing hidden here. There we go. You can see it splitting out now. Obviously, you shouldn't really let it all go on the floor, but I'm going to pressure wash the drive on afterwards. Let a good amount go through. Just close the valve off. You'll hear it stop. Just release the pressure a bit. So figured we didn't need to film all that because you've seen us take it off. It's the exact same process. So yeah, we've bled it all up. We've got a pedal, so we're going to start her up. She's on jack stands at the minute. Start her up, make sure we've got some gears. And we'll put the wheels on back on the ground, and then it'll be test drive. Right, first start up after we're putting the clutch in. Let's go, see how it goes. It starts, it sounds nice. Go into gear. Pump the clutch. There we go. That's right. Right, here we go, put the wheels back on. Take her for a test drive. There we go, nip this one in the bud now. All done. All in gear, drive in. Happy days. Sound.